Now let's work on problem number 3 from your practice exam. Problem number 3 has you use the house payment calculator. The first instruction is to name the numerical cells. Then we're supposed to use the scenario manager to enter the following scenarios below, and then finally produce a scenario summary. Let's start with naming the numerical cells. The easiest way to name a numerical cell is to click on that cell. So I'm going to click on B1, the first numerical cell, and I'm going to click on the name box. The name box is just above column A to the left. All I have to do is click in there. Notice it has the cell reference, which is the current name, and I can name that cell whatever I want. I just can't include spaces. So for this cell, I'm going to call it house underscore cost. Then I hit enter to accept the name. Another way that you can produce a name or name a cell is to use the name manager. So I'm going to click on cell B2 and I'm going to click formulas, and notice there's an entire group for names. You can use the name manager or you can define a name. To use the name manager, I'm going to click the name manager. I'm going to click new, and notice I have new name. It actually gave me the name of the cell as cell A2, so that makes it a little bit easier, and it refers to the current cell, so all I have to do is click OK. I will do the same thing for the remaining cells. So in the name manager, I'm going to close the name manager. I'm going to click on cell B3. I'll click my formulas tab, name manager, new. Notice how it puts amount financed in as the name, and I can just click OK. I'll now close the main name manager, click on cell B4. This time I'll use the name box and just click inside the name box and just type years and hit enter. And I'll just click on cell B5, use the name box, and type rate. I'll click on cell B7 and I'll type in the name box monthly underscore payment. And finally, the last cell to name, cell B8, I'll click in the name box and type total underscore interest. So I have now named all of the numerical cells. To use the scenario manager, I'm going to click data. In the forecast group under the data tab, I'm going to click what if analysis, and this time I'm going to click scenario manager. Notice my scenario manager says that there are no scenarios defined. I choose add to add scenarios. So I'm going to click the add button. It asks for a scenario name. The first scenario that I asked for is mansion. And it's going to ask for the changing cells. Notice I have 3 options in the instructions: the cost of the house, the down payment, and the number of years. So I'm going to show those 3 cells as my changing cells. So I'm going to click on cell B1 as the cost of the house. To use non-continuous cells, you can either type a comma or hold down the control key. I'm going to type a comma. Then I'm going to click on the down payment, cell B2, type another comma, and then click on the number of years, cell B4. I click OK to add the scenario. And now notice it asks me to enter values for each of the changing cells, and because I named the cells, the titles don't come up as B1 and B2, they come up as house cost and down payment. So my first house cost, all I do is enter 12 million, 12,000,000. I can use my tab key to tab to the next field. My down payment, 2,500,000. And my number of years is 30. Now, since I have more scenarios to add, I click the Add button. But if you click the OK button, it's okay. You just get back to the Scenario Manager, and you can just click the Add button again to add the big city. But I'm going to click Add. The second scenario name is going to be Big City. I'm going to accept the same changing cells because Big City has the same changing cells as Mansion. I'm going to click OK. And now I'm just going to enter the values for the big city. So 575,000 for the house cost, 115,000 as the down payment, and 20 as the years. Now, as I said, if you click OK, it's not a big deal because to add the small town, all we have to do is click the Add button once again. And my third scenario name is Small Town. Accept the same changing cells and click OK. Enter the values for my small town, 250,000. Hit my tab, 50,000, and 25 years. So now I click OK. Now it doesn't look like very much has been done, but if I click any one of the scenarios and click the Show button down at the bottom of the Scenario Manager window, notice it shows the results of those scenarios. So I can keep clicking Show. You can't see how much interest is being paid because my worksheet is so large. If I close this and make the cell larger, wow, $7 million in interest. That is a lot of interest. To go back to the Scenario Manager, just click Data. In the Forecast group, What If Analysis, and Scenario Manager yet again. Now to produce a summary, which is the third requirement, all we have to do in the Scenario Manager is click the Summary button. So I'm going to click the Summary button, and I can get either a scenario summary or a scenario pivot table report. I asked specifically for a scenario summary, and we can actually use more than one result cell. So I'm going to use the result cells of B7 and B8, the monthly payment and the total interest. So once I click OK, a new sheet is created, and you can see the current values and the results of each one of the scenarios with the result cells shown. A very nice report, which would be very difficult to produce without the Scenario Manager.